Hey, I'm going to show everybody how to make, I'm not very good at this. I don't like being on tape. I want everybody to see this. Make wreath boxes out of these Walmart boxes. These are the 18 by 18 by 24 boxes. And they're, where I live, they're about $1.40. And I make 2 wreath boxes out of them. The first thing that you want to have that I suggest, and I send and ship a lot of wreaths, is you want a ceramic knife, and you can get these in the houseware department at Walmart for like $9. These are the best knives to cut these boxes. You also want a tape measure, and eventually you won't need one. And you want your clear tape. I use one of these because it works the best. You don't have to. You can use it without. So the first thing you want to do, let me see, I'm going to push this down just a little bit and see. The first thing that you want to do is close up both ends. So I close up, I use a lot of tape because I ship all. So I take it down about 8 inches and I kind of push it together like this, and I tape it that way. I put 3 on each side. It's very noisy, my kids hate it. And then I flip it around and I do 3 on that side. You're going to see kitties in the background playing with everything. Then I flip it over and I do exactly the same thing on the bottom. So we're completely closing it up. So I'm going to completely close up this end. Do exactly the same thing. And this is, you can order boxes. Uline, I think, is a place you can order them. That's up in Seattle. It's not far from me. They run about, I don't know, I think for what I want, I like the lighter weight. They run about, I think $1.59. But this is what I do when I run out. I'm going to grab a chair, and I usually do this on my coffee table, and I'm going to take the box and I'm going to put it up like this. Make sure you can see it. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you, is I am going to mark this in half, and how I mark it just to save time. So these are 24 inches. It's right, I eyeball it, but just to make them look nice right now, I'll do it this way. So 12 inches is there, and I just take it and cut it on right here, and then I come down on the corner. So I'm just cutting right there. Then I flip it around, and I do the same thing. And I take it. So I'm cutting on one side down to the other. So what I'm doing is making marks so I can see it when I cut all the way through in half. And I do the same thing there. So in this, from where I ship, the wreaths I make all kinds of wreaths, and I do not make over a 22-inch wreath because I can put a 22-inch wreath into an 18-inch box, depending on what kind it is. But most of mine you can, because you just bring up the size and you have your customers fluff it. If I go beyond an 18 by 18 by 6 box that's over 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds, it goes way up in price for shipping. And so then what I do is I find those marks. Here's one and here's the other, and I'm just gonna go all the way. These knives are great because they just cut straight through. Like that. So what I'm going to do, this is the red ball wreath. This is a 20-inch wreath. So I'm going to, I am going to fit this wreath in this box. If I were to, I will grab it, do say a smaller wreath, which is one of these, I can stick it in that box, and I would pack the corners, but I'm not gonna do much on top. I might put a piece of tissue paper over. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark down, I gotta grab a pen. I'm going to go on each corner and I am going to mark down, I want to go 6 inches up. So I'm just going to put a little mark there. And again, eventually you can just eyeball this. I'm going 6 inches all the way around on each corner. There's another 6. You can do obviously less. If on my 18-inch reeds I'll do 5. And then there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the box, I'm going to cut the corner, each one. I'm going to just take it and cut it down to that line. And same thing, down to there, there, and there. That one went a little long. Now what you want to do, and I just eyeball this, but again, you can use a, a straight edge or something, is that I'm going to want to score these edges. So I'll just make this one, I'll go ahead and mark. The other ones I'll just do. And so what you do is you take the tip of this knife and you just put it at the end and you just run it along there. You don't go all the way through. You just run it along. And this one, same thing. Run it along. See, some of mine get a little crooked. And run it along that. Your last one. Then they just bend in like this. So, yep, you don't have a top on that one. So I take, so you've got this. So one of my large boxes, I'll make tops out of. And you can get quite a few of them out of here. So I just take the sides down, and I don't use other like heavy boxes because your box weight is going to increase with the kind of cardboard you use. So you don't want to use just any cardboard, or if you do, make sure it's lighter weight. And I've never had a wreath, I've shipped hundreds of wreaths and nobody's ever said, oops, that they've got a crushed wreath. So all of now when I have one this long, I can cut there, and cut there, and cut there, and this is going to go the length of that box. So I'm just going to take this and cut it down. So I'm going to have a piece like this. And then, see, I can take another one, do the same thing for another box. And so you can get about 4 of them out. So out of another box, you can get 16 tops. And there we go. So we'll just use that. So then I would take my wreath, open these sides up, and I just take the wreath and hold it flat above and push it down into it That's going to be fine. I flatten out the bow a little bit, and they fluff it when they get there. And your wreath is going to look like that. And I just do this, close it up, and on two of the sides, on the top two, I'll run a piece of tape over there. Let's see. There we go. And right there. And I'm going to put this right there. So it's going to go on top. And yes, it's much easier, of course, if you buy boxes by the case. Some people don't need to do that. I probably need to do that. And then I use a lot of tape. And sometimes I will take and take tape, and on the sides that I scored, I'll go ahead and put a piece over that. And like so. And there you go. So there is your wreath ready to ship out of Walmart boxes. And you can also put it around on the side if you want. The cost on them is relatively cheap, you know, like 60, 70 cents. Yes, it takes time, but yeah, it works. So there you go.